Muy buenos días, clase. ¿Cómo están? Espero que bien. Hoy es semana 5, día 2, y hoy vamos a aprender sobre el tiempo. We're going to learn about weather. So, we're approaching the end of our intro chapter. I just want everyone to make sure you're studying your vocab every day. Probably next week we're going to have our first exam, so be ready for that. So, back to our lesson today. We'll be talking about el tiempo. Now, this does not mean time. This means weather, el tiempo. So don't get those too confused. So, el tiempo. And the first question would be pertaining to weather. ¿Qué tiempo hace? What is the weather like? ¿Qué tiempo hace? And I'm going to add another word. ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy? What is the weather like today? Let's go over, vamos a repasar el nuevo vocabulario, review our new vocab that we have pertaining to the weather. By the way, so our bonus word of the day, considering the weather outside, is la ceniza. La ceniza. ¿Qué quiere decir eso? Quiere decir ash, because you look outside, ash is everywhere because of all the forest fires. La ceniza. So that won't be on the quiz. I just thought I'd throw that out. So our first verb today, our first vocab word. I'm a little tired, I think, my bad. We have hace calor, which means it is hot. Hace calor. Hace sol. It is sunny. Hace frío. Lleva un acento. It is cold. And here's one that the book doesn't have, but I think it should be in here, is hace fresco, which means the weather is cool outside. Hace fresco, it's cool weather today. Here's another one. Hace viento, which means it is windy. It's windy outside. Hace viento. And two more. These are verbs. Llueve, which means it is raining. Or it's like saying está lloviendo. Llueve, rain. It rains or it's raining. And nieva, it's snowing. Como está nevando. It's nieva. It's snowing out there. And let's put up here the 4 seasons, las 4 estaciones. So we have 4 seasons. Modesto is really like 2 seasons. It's hot and cold here. It's about it. Las 4 estaciones. ¿Y cuáles son las 4 estaciones? What are the 4 seasons? Tenemos la primavera. ¿Y qué quiere decir? ¿Qué quiere decir la primavera? Quiere decir spring. So la primavera is spring. El verano is the summer. El otoño is autumn or fall. Y la última, el invierno, we have winter. Now, let's do a couple questions together, and then I'm going to give you a warm-up for the day. So, primera pregunta. ¿Qué tiempo hace? ¿Qué tiempo hace en junio? So, what is this question asking you? ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? ¿Qué tiempo hace en junio? What is the weather like in June? So think about it. Look up here. You could say, hace calor y sol. So my answer is, it's hot and sunny. So what's the weather like in June? It's hot and sunny. Otro. Am I running out of room here? ¿Qué tiempo hace? ¿Qué tiempo hace en el invierno? ¿Qué tiempo hace en el invierno? What is the weather like in winter? And look over here at the chart. I'm going to say hace frío. It is cold. Hace frío. Y uno más. One more question. ¿En qué? That's an ugly E. ¿En qué estación hace frío? Or hace viento? In what season is it windy? And you could say, in what season is it windy? I'm going to say, when is it really windy? March, April, hold on. Let's just say Octubre. Or excuse me, season, my bad. In what season is it windy? I would say el otoño, which is fall. So it's up here. And what season is it windy? Fall. Or you can say, yeah. And I'm going to put a couple questions on here. We're going to do a warm-up today. And let's see how well you guys can do. So I'm going to give you the questions. I'm going to go over the questions, but we're going to answer them as a class in teams. So here is the first couple questions. Número uno. So remember, write these down, questions and answers. ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy? And that means, what is the weather like today? So look on the chart that I just had up here. You know, the chart that you guys wrote down. Look on the chart and answer the question. What's the weather like today? And if you don't know these, you can answer them later because I'm going to go over them with you in Microsoft Teams. Dos. ¿Cuántas estaciones hay? How many seasons are there? And here's that verb, there is or there are. You can say there are using the verb I. And of course, I'm sure you guys can count that. It's very easy. Número tres. ¿Qué tiempo hace en el otoño? Question. ¿Qué tiempo hace en el otoño? What is the weather like in fall? And the last one, ¿en qué estación nieva? So, ¿en qué estación nieva? In what season does it snow? All right, everyone. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to the page. Nos vemos. Ciao.